Your next comedian, he came all the way from Philly to entertain you. Please give a warm round of applause for Dorian Vasquez, everyone!
I looked at my calendar before I walked up here and I realized I made it to 14 months clean, so I got that going for me. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I mean, except like weed and alcohol. I mean, yeah, exactly. I'm not the Pope. And my problem was with Coke, and I knew it was a problem because when I made it to a year, I was so happy I wanted to celebrate with Coke. Some real AA shit's real. Hence the weed, suppress the urge. Like, smoke a lot of weed. I quit for a long time because the paranoia was too much. Like, there was a moment I thought my house was haunted. It just turned out the radio was on. Made me question my atheism. It's a frightening feeling, right? Like you sit in the dark, you hear a voice in the corner, you're just thinking, oh God, I gotta call Mom. You gotta tell her she's right. I'd say I was a functioning drug addict when I did drugs. I differentiate between a drug addict and a functioning drug addict. The difference is that a drug addict, they make life difficult for themselves and the people around them. A functioning drug addict makes life difficult, but they pay for their own shit. That's where I come in, yeah. Like, Dorian is a fucking asshole, but man, can he hold down a job. That's the best kind of drug addict to be. Like, if you had to choose, yeah, no one wants, people don't mind being Matthew McConaughey in Wolf of Wall Street. Nobody wants to be Pookie from New Jack City. First 30 days getting clean are probably the hardest, man, because you're withdrawing, you just feel really gross and depressed. Like, I had this really weird low point. I was living with my brother, and he had a gun in the house. I remember one time I went to go find it, and I was just sitting there at the edge of the bed, just holding this gun, just staring at it, and the only reason I didn't put it in my mouth was because it was a Glock. Like, ugh. Yeah, I don't want to die from a Glock. Have some respect for yourself. Your body's a temple. Yeah, I honestly don't even know shit about guns. I just know to slide on the back and break your teeth, and I don't want to die with no teeth. That's how I got over my depression. I realized I'm more vain than suicidal. It's like I'm on the brink of death, but my mother's in my head going, but you're so cute, why would you do that to your face? That's my mother. She's very religious and just unbelievably superficial. She hated the Passion of the Christ because she didn't think Jim Caviezel was handsome enough. I think it made me realize narcissism is genetic, though, because like I'm learning to control my anger purely out of vanity. I realize you can't have hair like mine and also be like, fuck! Look at this shit. Yeah, you can't have flippy hair and an anger problem. Like, it looks evil. If I was speaking German, we'd all be afraid right now. Yeah, was ist das Scheiße? It's like a handicap. This hair can't get into sports. Like, I love baseball. God forbid, like, someone on the Dodgers misses a pop fly. Are you fucking kidding? Like, why is the bartender crying? Stupid. I don't even ask for this haircut. I go to a black barber shop in Philly and it's just what they give me. I think it's a prank. Like, I'm just obscure enough to get fucked with. I think you're going up a little high on the sides. No, man, I think it looks good. Maybe walking around looking like the Hispanic love child that Richard Spencer disowned. Okay, that was not as big a laugh as I was hoping. Did we forget who Richard Spencer was? For those of you who don't remember, he's the white supremacist guy. He got punched on TV last year. Remember? Yeah, fuck him, right? I agree, he's a shithead, but watching him look, go and look at his hair. Same thing. It's fucking scary. Like, it's one of the reasons I learned to control my anger. I'm a comedian. I say awful shit in jest all the time. Last thing I want is walking down the street and get punched by some male feminist. Have these soft vegan knuckles scraping my cheeks. That dude made me realize controlling your anger gives you leeway, because he got punched and it divided the country. Do you remember that? Like, half the country was like, hey, leave him alone. And it's because most times when you see like a white supremacist on TV, they're always like frothing at the mouth. It's like, fucking Dutch don't pay taxes or whatever. But he was composed as shit. Like, he was saying hate speech, but he was delivering it like a liberal pussy. Like, He's like, oh, I just don't think we need to mix race. Like he had like, I have an English degree voice. He had his hands on his hips like a pregnant lady. Like, oh, this is kind of my opinion. What? I just got the lights. So I'm gonna end on this. I'm glad I made it out here, man. It's been a rough couple of years. I'm the youngest of 4 in my house. My just older brother is gay, and about 3 years ago he contracted HIV. It's an awful thing, but one cool thing that happened is the guy he ended up falling in love with also had HIV. And it's a weird thing to see that process because they bought a house together like 2 years ago. After they did, the guy proposed to my brother, and then the following Valentine's Day they ended up getting married. And if I could leave on anything, it's, you know, a really beautiful thing can come out of any tragedy, and that's one thing comics try to find all the time. Like, I watched my brother go from just depressed and this death sentence to finding love purer than I've seen with my parents or with any relationship I've seen try to work out. I have a new brother-in-law out of it, and I think that's kind of cool. Yeah. But I'm still a comedian, and yeah, my first thought when I found out was maybe HIV is the gay man's let's get married because she's pregnant. Yeah, like a shotgun wedding. But the barrel is loaded with AIDS. Thank you very much, Grand Rapids.